The Gilgamesh Project is a multi-year, interdisciplinary program for colleges. The Epic of Gilgamesh is actually one of the oldest known texts, and it was written about 3,000 years ago on about 11 different tablets.
We are looking at this ancient text because it poses some of the earliest ways of expressing some fundamental questions that have plagued us all throughout humanity. What I think is going to be unique here is the combination of artists that we're bringing to bear on these topics and the unique interaction between scholars and artists, between educators and artists.
How do we get those performances, those artists, to work with faculty and students? And we call it a creative campus. How do we make that work?
The way I've put it is to create sort of a Gilgamesh zeitgeist, a moment of Gilgamesh, a feeling of Gilgamesh, and if that involves, comic book that somebody creates based on Gilgamesh and Enkidu, which I encourage, great. And if it's academic examination of the text, also great. So it will be whatever people want it to be.
We are working with a couple of partners, the Great Lakes Theater Festival as well as the Cleveland Museum of Art. And both of these organizations will hopefully come into the classrooms and present the Gilgamesh Project from their point of view and from their medium, basically. But then also we hope that they will conduct open discussions with the public, lectures, demonstrations, those kinds of things. We're also creating a big performance piece. And we're not sure what that's going to look like yet, but we definitely know it will have our professional faculty musicians and performers, a national renowned violinist and composer, Daniel Bernard Roumain.
Take your axe in hand and attack. He who leaves the fight unfinished is not at peace.
Daniel Bernard Roumain is a really wonderful, amazing violinist and artist who travels around the world. He's also known as DBR, and he is very well respected around the country for presenters who are looking to connect with their student population and through education and master classes and things like that. So he was a natural fit for this project.
What interested me about the Gilgamesh Project was its audacity, its premise, the notion of taking an ancient epic poem and wanting to integrate it not only into the classroom, but in a campus-wide performative endeavor. And the community here at Tri-C, I think, is uniquely qualified to help this one composer create something that I think can be relevant and can be a type of a shareware, something that, although I create the initial work, that's not the end at all. That the larger and greater scope of the work is to be fulfilled by the student and faculty here, well beyond the limits of the score.
We see this as being something that will happen all over the campus, in every different area that we can, spontaneous performances that will invite the public to, just an explosion of arts and creativity.
We all have a bit of Gilgamesh in us, I'm sure that we all struggle with who we are, where we are, and more importantly, where we want to be. And these are all things that Gilgamesh, as a tragic hero and as an epic poem, these are all things that are continuously and in some ways heartbreakingly relevant to our kind of fractured lives.